Hey baby, I was gonna record your couple pages of story tonight. Here we go. We were so absorbed in our impromptu instruction that I didn't notice the small crowd that had gathered, until I heard a voice rudely demand, "What do you think you are doing?" It was the school's headmaster. He had apparently taken umbrage with my decision to teach a girl to read. Several other villagers, including Madame Clothald, had turned out to watch the argument and offer their own disapproving opinions. I didn't understand the outrage. Why shouldn't a girl be allowed to learn? What was wrong with that? Dear Bill, thank you for teaching me how to read and write. Your friend always, Louise. Apparently they also did not wish a girl to argue with them. Instead of engaging with me in a conversation, they dismantled my machine, took my barrel of laundry, and emptied it into the street. Then they chastised the girl for listening to me and ushered her back inside the home where she worked. I was left to gather my soggy laundry and trudge back toward my cottage, infuriated and disheartened by the events of the day. I have to say that my spirits were not lifted on the path home by the appearance of Monsieur Gaston, who had caught wind of my troubles and insisted on offering his opinion. Uninvited and unneeded, I must say. Although I considered him more or less harmless, his pushy, boorish behavior often put me on my guard. I could tell he saw me as a challenge to be conquered instead of a person. Our conversation took a decidedly unpleasant turn when he informed me that the only children I should concern myself with were my own. I bristled at his implication, inferring he meant the children he wished we would have together. He didn't ask what I thought about this plan, of course, but I made my position clear. I told him in no uncertain terms that I wasn't at all ready for marriage or children, and that I would never marry him. I managed to make my excuses and escape home, closing the door in Gaston's face, trying to shake the weight of other people's ambitions and expectations from my shoulders. I had ambitions of my own. The night passed uneventfully, and the next morning the sun had only just come up when I heard the distinctive whinny of our old horse Philippe. I was thrilled, thinking that Papa was safely back from his trip, but when I looked up, expecting to see him coming through our garden gate, I saw Philippe alone and wild-eyed. I realized with horror that something must have happened to Papa on the road without thinking twice. I leapt astride Philippe and whispered to him to take me to Papa. He seemed to understand me, for he whirled and galloped into the woods. Philippe took us a long, long way. I had never ventured so far outside of Villeneuve before. Eventually I was lost. I put my trust in Philippe, thinking only of Papa, praying he would be all right when we reached him. Next to a broken tree stump, I spied my father's overturned cart on the road, and I urged fearful Philippe onward, my heart in my throat. I was so worried that I hardly noticed as the dirt beneath Philippe's hooves turned to snow, and my breath began to crystallize in the air in front of me. Then I saw it. A great castle looming suddenly through the trees. Wreathed in winter, the crumbling spires black against the stars, it was a sight I can never forget. All right, baby. I love you, and I'll do another story tomorrow. Good night, baby.